There is something about big, meaty men slapping meat. I don't know what it's about. Some people love it. Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's just the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped On an Info Dump Podcast.
All right, everybody, here we go. Let's get ready to get into Get Dumped On the Dump Podcast. This podcast of four friends get together and interrupt their special interests out to each other. We'll do this every week. We got it every week. We'll have every 7 days. You get a new episode of Get Dumped On the Info Dump Podcast. So first thing is first, let's introduce each member of the podcast. We got 4 members of the podcast. The podcast has 4 people in it. That means that there are 4 people, 3 in addition to me. The first one we're going to talk to, his name's Bo. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. He's from California. Hey, Bo, say hi.
Hey.
Is this the intro?
The next person is Ash. Ash is my wife. Ash is really good. I like Ash a lot. Ash is my wife because Ash is really good. And Ash is right up there. Ash, say hi.
I understood about maybe 35% of what you said.
And the person who's going to be hosting this episode, that is and I'm Zach. That's me. I'm Zach. Hey, what's up? I'm Zach. Hi. And this person is my brother-in-law. That's Andrew. He's a pretty cool guy. There's a lot of stuff about a lot of different things. He's got to host the episode for today. Hey, Andrew, say hi.
Welcome to Get Dumped On, the Info Dump Podcast.
Should we start over, Tina?
Nope, keeping that in forever.
I just kind of.
You just know you fucked up because I'm keeping that in.
Did you just like close your eyes and go? Because
It seized me, and I was just on the back seat of whatever that was.
way to steal my thing of doing different silly voices. Trademark.
Yeah, you know you.
Wow,
love
I can't believe Bo trademarked doing different voices. That's crazy.
Yeah. Mel Brooks is turning in his grave right now because he's being sued by Bo.
A lot of people owe Bo a lot of money, if that's
Does
the
Mel
case.
Brooks do a lot of different voices? I feel like Mel Brooks just plays the same character with different makeup.
Wait, who am I thinking of? The guy, Bugs Bunny guy. Mel Blanc. That one. That's what I was thinking of.
Pretty different guy.
Oh, I was thinking of Casey Kasem. Hey, I'm Casey Kasem here on the Get Dumped On podcast.
I feel like calling that voice a Casey Kasem voice is a disservice to Casey Kasem.
I think you should shut the fuck up. How about that? How's that for Casey Kasem, bitch?
I'm Casey Kasem, and I tell you to shut the fuck up. That's what he sounded like when he said that.
No, okay, let me do it again. Shut up, Zach. There we go. That's my Casey Kasem.
Perfect Casey Kasem.
Wow.
Anyway, welcome to Get Dumped On, the Info Dump Podcast. I will be your host.
If you couldn't tell
today.
from the way that this goes, we're all friends.
I never met these people in my life. Help.
I'll be your host today. I'm gonna take you on a journey of some pretty interesting stuff. Do you guys want to guess what this is about? I haven't told them.
How can we possibly guess what it's about?
I don't know.
My guess is that it is about
Trains.
special effects.
But you didn't do your thing about get ready, motherfuckers. You didn't do your.
Oh yeah, the thing about opening
Open
your mouth, bitches.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I was
you
letting you guys do a. I was letting you guys guess first.
I'm all thrown off right now, and
Guess, Bo.
I said trains.
Wrong.
Oh.
Oh, wait, I'm going to be you last episode. You know we don't know the answer. You're just setting this up to make us look bad. You're just
There you
making us feel
go.
bad.
Now you understand what I feel like 24/7.
Call him out. Call him fucking out. Yeah. Get him.
I think that it is about trains.
Zach,
Yes.
how the fuck? I'm just kidding. It's not. No, today's episode is going to be a fun little compilation of 4 stories of things that actually happened in real life throughout our crazy time as humans. And I figured, you know what? Instead of doing one upper decker myself, I'm doing 4, call them micro Andrew dumps. So open your mouth, bitches. It's time for 4 mini upper deckers.
He's not a one dump chump.
This makes sense because I don't think have you been present for either of our multi-micro dump episodes?
No, I have not.
All right, so this is just you playing makeup for the multi-micro dumps.
He's just got FOMO.
Yeah.
Now I have my own. I'm starting my own multi-micro dump with blackjack and hookers.
Now I assume that you've done your due diligence. You've got sources for these. You've researched to make sure that you're telling true stories.
I have to because Ash is going to fact check me no matter what. It makes me scared.
My mouth is open. Shit inside.
Ew. No.
So you're telling
This is info dumping.
It's the thing that you said.
Info
you know?
shit in my mouth.
Info shit in my mouth, Zaddy. Jesus fuck. Okay.
My energy's weird. I don't know what's going on. I had some boba tea like right before we started.
Did you hear your intro?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, let's get started. I in no particular order are these stories. I just kind of threw them together, and here we go.
All right, tell me a story, baby.
Have you heard of? I hope I say this right. Cthulhu, the wrestling queen.
Well, I knew that this was going to be first to start off with a wrestling story.
That wasn't a yes or no.
Well, I don't know who this wrestler is.
Bo and Ash?
I'm just going to let you keep talking to Zach. I'm loving this banter between you two. But
no.
Thank you for answering the question. So, Cthulhu, again, I'm sorry if I am butchering the saying of her name. She was the daughter of Kaidu Khan and the great-great-granddaughter of Genghis Khan and a cousin of Kublai Khan as well.
So what year is this then?
It's around like the Middle Ages, but she was born in 1260.
Okay.
So, Cthulhu, or Cthulhu, something like that. She was a Khutulun.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, so something like that. One of those. I'm sure one of those is right. Yeah, it's hard. But yeah, she was fucking a badass. She was a feared fighter. She battled alongside her father against Kublai Khan, I guess. I don't really know too much about that whole dynasty, but apparently they did that. And protected the nomadic Mongol lifestyle against the Chinese ways adopted by Kublai's court. So she was born around 1260, raised with 14 brothers.
That's too many.
Yeah, it's a lot of brothers. Could you imagine?
Cthulhu.
I can't even imagine having that many siblings. Like, not like, needless to say, being the only sister.
Cthulhu.
Who's doing
Cthulhu.
that? Who did that? Is that Bo's contribution to the podcast? Is making AI talk for him now?
No.
Has he officially ascended, or is that
That's not
Ash?
me.
It's
That's not me.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
It's the singularity.
But I'm going to do that one day.
Yeah, imagine having that many. So I know a guy who had that many children.
15.
He had 14 children.
That's too many.
It's too many.
It's too many.
Don't
One.
have that many children.
Poor wife. Holy shit. Please take a
Yeah.
break. Like, she would get pregnant as soon as she was done being pregnant.
I think that's bad for you.
I
Maybe she
think
likes being
so
pregnant.
too.
Nobody likes being pregnant.
I'm sure some people do.
That's yes. I mean, at what point is it easy though?
You just stretch out enough that you can just lean over and
Yeah, it's just like
Pop
taking
that
a dump.
baby
You know,
out.
you're just like, oh, okay, here it comes. Floop. Next.
I don't know if it ever gets to that point. I don't know enough about anatomy to say one way or another. I don't want to be on permanent record.
Yeah, I'm not a woman, so I'm not going to explain how woman body stuff goes. But I assume there's a point where you are good at it and you
But it's
don't
your
have to worry
manly
about
duty
it.
to mansplain about it. Duh. Do it.
Let's get back on the story.
Okay.
So, Cthulhu, they were excellent at horse riding, archery, and wrestling, which I can appreciate as a big wrestling fan. With the latter
Well, I'm a
arguably
horseback
This is like
being,
real
and
wrestling,
archery
though.
fan.
oh yeah, the real wrestling with the Undertaker being an undead wizard fighting a guy in jean shorts
From
who was
Death
a
Valley.
fake Marine. Wrestling. But yeah, wrestling was arguably the source of her reputation, though, because let me tell you, Mongolians, if there's two things they're good at, is killing most of the world's population to change the actual carbon emissions of the entire world, and wrestling. And wrestle they do.
What about riding horses?
That too. There's three things they're good at. They're good at a lot of stuff. But one thing Mongolian wrestlers all have in common is that they have always been men for centuries, and women were not allowed to compete. But it wasn't always the case, but in general, it was just always considered that it was like a manly thing. They used to wear a vest with long sleeves, but no shoulder coverings, and a completely open front, exposing their whole chest. And I was reading somewhere that it said it allowed each wrestler to be certain that his opponent is male, which I don't know what that's about. That's just the quote that I heard. Don't know what that means,
It
but
means
I
they
guess
like looking at each other's dicks.
they do. Big dick lookers, these guys. Bo, what do you think about that?
You like to see some broad chests? I'm all about it. Let you do you.
From the Greeks to the Mongolians, wrestlers like looking at flopping dicks when they wrestle. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that I said chest though, not dicks, but Ash has got dicks on the mind again. But there is something about big meaty men slapping meat. I don't know what it's about. Some people love it.
It's one way to put it.
Oh yeah. This didn't stop.
You also didn't mention pants, so I'm just saying.
You're right. I did not. So their dicks were out. No, this didn't stop Cthulhu. I already forgot to say it. She loved wrestling so much.
Oh, you want it again?
Yeah, please.
Turn my volume up.
Cthulhu. So Cthulhu loved wrestling so much that she refused to marry unless the prospective husband could beat her in wrestling.
That's a good metric.
Oh yeah. If you best me in combat, you may have my hand in marriage, which that's fucking dope. There should be that should still be a thing. Like not wrestling, everyone. Like people. I mean, I'm fine with wrestling. That'd be cool if everyone was wrestling each other 24/7. But that would be cool to be like, oh hey, like what am I best at, and you have to best me at that to be able to marry me.
Like when if it's a Swedish movie and you die and the Grim Reaper comes, you have to beat him at whatever you're good at.
Sort of like that too. Like if someone was going to win your hand in marriage, what would they have to beat you at?
Fart contest.
Fart?
Yep.
Like
you out fart
like
big old
as
beavers.
As Bo would say, beaver. Yeah.
Now, would this be like in terms of length, volume, timbre?
A little bit of all. Yeah, I want to get some
mixed bag. Like there's a panel of judges. They hold up signs like 0 to 10. When
get some nice baritones in that fucking in that beafer.
Is it one singular fart, or is it like an amalgamation of a day's worth of farts?
No, you get like the best 2 out of 3.
Does smell factor into this at all?
I absolutely think that it does. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you get 2 chances, right? You could pick the best one, right? So it could be any time during the day, and you go
multiple heats.
But if you pick that fart, you can't go back. Go no, not that one after you let it go. If you feel that rumbling, you're tumbling, and you're like, all right, I think this is the one.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I like that.
Thank you,
Zach. What would Ash have to beat you at now if you were to get remarried? That was a long pause.
I'm not particularly good at anything, so I think we'd have to.
Ash, what is Zach good at, and what can you beat him at?
You'd have to beat me at Blood Bowl first.
Oh, that'd be hard.
RoboCop trivia night.
I would never win.
Oh no. Is there anyone who could beat Zach at that, though? That's the real question.
Probably.
Paul Verhoeven.
What about you, Ash? What would Zach have to beat you at to be able to take your hand in marriage?
Fucking 1v1 me at Call of Duty, bro.
Ash and Zach will never get married ever again because Ash is very good at Call of Duty. All right. But yeah, so her suitors had to beat her in a wrestling match for me. I mean, default answers are, hockey, video games, but I would probably go out of left field and say chicken wing eating contest.
Oh, I would win your hand in marriage in a heartbeat.
I just really want some chicken wings right now. Like I'm hungry. That sounds good. So yeah. Guys had to beat her in a wrestling match, and
very glad that was not the end of your sentence.
What?
You said guys had to beat her.
Yeah.
In a wrestling match.
I got a phlegmy throat, so I had to put a pause there, and that was the worst time to choose to pause. So her suitors had to wager horses for the opportunity to fight. It wasn't just a, hey, come fight me. Like they had to ante up something. It said that she had...
but your horse is where your mouth is.
Exactly. Neigh up, bitch. That's probably what she said right before. Because horses neigh.
Ha 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 ha.
Thank you. It said that she amassed a stable of 10,000 horses from her victories.
Wow, that's too many horses?
A lot of horses.
10,000 fucking horses.
That's a lot of
How do you feed all those horses?
Don't know. Maybe they feed each other.
Oh.
There's different times back then.
Horse cannibalism.
Yeah. It was nuts. Too much wrestling. The horses like, please lose.
You make the horses wrestle each other.
That's how she was good. She would just wrestle the horses. But it says that she amassed so many horses that she had as many as any emperor of the time, which is insane.
Wow.
Such reports came from the writing of Marco Polo and a Persian writer, Rashad al-Din, who traveled through Asia at the time. The accounts of her eventual marriage varies. Some say that she only chose to marry without wrestling to stem rumors that she was in an incestuous relationship with her beloved father.
Oh.
Which is nuts. But she did end up marrying someone without having them best her at wrestling. So she goes down in history
I'm getting tired of waiting.
as the undefeated wrestling champion of all time.
You know, whenever a woman's getting too powerful, especially in the olden days, the first thing, it happens so often in history. People are like, well, you're doing incest though. And it's like, what? Listen, if you're jealous, just say that.
Please tell me one more instance of this.
Mariah Carey, you know, they're like, she's so good at singing. It's clear that she's banging her dad. That's what they said, not me.
That's what they said.
Yeah. And then she put out All I Want for Christmas Is You, and people are like, oh, fuck. It's over. And she's like, this is your punishment, rest of the world. You get to hear this for the rest of your fucking lives. Every 12 months. So yeah, she ended up getting married. She's the undefeated wrestling champion of the world. And then her father died around 1301. His wish that she was going to succeed him, but was denied by her brothers, which is really sad. And she died in 1306, just a few years later, but has lived on as the wrestling queen of the world, Cthulhu.
Long live the queen.
Long live the queen.
What happened to her 10,000 horses?
I don't know. That was not in the thing that I read.
Somebody do that Macklemore song, 10,000 Hours, but change the lyrics so it's about 10,000 horses. The only problem is that the cadence of the words are different.
But the Disturbed song, 10,000 Fists in the Air. No, it's 10,000 horses murdering each other.
There you go. You nailed it.
So what do we think about Cthulhu, the wrestling queen?
Pretty cool.
Pretty good.
Cool. Pretty cool stuff. But what do you think?
Aye, nice lady. I'd like to meet her one day.
And she beat the shit out of you.
Yep, that's why I want to meet her.
Yeah, I think he'd be into that.
Oh, God. Wrestle him, mommy. Okay, next story up. Have you guys heard about anti-comet pills?
Yeah. That's why we never got hit by a comet. Earth is always protected because we take those pills every night. That's at least what my dad told me.
Yeah, the that one cult was all about that, right?
Oh, I think that they wanted to ride the comet, so they didn't.
Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, they didn't want the comet to go away. They wanted to be on it and just ride the lightning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Wait, I think it was that the mothership of like the alien race they were worshiping was hiding behind the Hale-Bopp comet. Was that it? Ash, is that what it was?
I don't know.
Yes, maybe. I don't know. But the anti-comet pills, though, this goes back to 1910 when Halley's Comet flew by the Earth. There's a couple of hucksters who were trying to make some money off of it, as Zach would say.
Selling snake oil.
Wait, do I say hucksters a lot?
You said it in the Bigfoot episode.
Oh, okay.
You said, this guy's a huckster. It is not to be believed. Or something. I don't know.
Bo said, I'm going to do a big fat beefer on him.
I say a lot of words. I don't remember most of them.
You know those people who know way too much about one singular show, like Zach knows about RoboCop? I know about this podcast because I edit every episode and I have to listen to it 3 times over
just called
to make
RoboCop
sure.
a show.
So every single time.
There was a show.
There was a show.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I rescind my snide comment.
I know. I've got a weird relationship with this podcast where I know everything that everybody says at all times, and it like fucking follows me in my sleep.
What did I say 20 minutes into the 7th episode?
7th episode.
I think the 7th episode was when I was still editing it.
So maybe he doesn't know everything about every time anyone said anything about the podcast.
When I started editing these podcasts, guess who's getting edited out now?
You just got Ash fact chat.
Guess who's getting edited out,
there we
bitch?
Oh, get him, Ash. Get him.
I think what was it? Was it the Utsi one? Was the first one that was the last one that I edited?
The 7th episode was the drinking in college episode.
Mm-hmm.
You should let me edit it one time. I think I'll do a good job.
No,
why not?
What, we'll do a special Bo edit episode.
The Bo edition, like Taylor's version, Bo's version.
Yeah, exactly. You can. I'll give you the previous. Like, we'll download the previous ones, the raw files, and we'll let you edit it. And we'll do the Bo version and see how it comes out.
Cool.
Anyway, the anti-comet pills, there was a French astronomer and popular science author named Camille Flammarion. I don't know how to say that.
You got it perfect.
Sure. They paved the way by saying that Earth would pass through the comet's tail and that there was a chance of, quote, cyanogen gas would impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet.
It's true. That's the thing that happens.
So
Yeah.
the anti-comet pills made it so you would survive?
There was a the San Francisco newspaper at the time reminded folks that, quote, most astronomers do not agree with this man. And it made little impact on the uncertainty that was left in people's minds because salvation came in the form of anti-comet pills. One such medication promising an elixir for escaping the wrath of the heavens. Or there's a gas mask that was also sold alongside of it. But they said that it would push out the fumes and they even sold stuff to keep the fumes out of people's houses by like stuffing the doors with like paper, essentially, just to keep the quote toxic gas out.
And then you also have to make sure to slaughter a lamb and paint its blood over the top lintel of your door.
And take your shoes off and put them in the walls so that it can outrun the gas.
Mhm.
Bo, what would you do to get to survive?
I don't know, just let it happen.
Just fucking let it ride, man.
Just let it go,
take
dude.
me
If it's
Halley's
my time,
Comet.
it's my time, you know?
That's
The one
what
with
I'm
the
down for.
cosmos.
Is this the same Halley's Comet that Mark Twain died during?
Shit about the pills, Mark.
Yeah. It's very clearly should have bought the gas mask.
That's one of the like three things that I know about Mark Twain is that he was born during a Halley's Comet and he died during a Halley's Comet.
Halley giveth marks and taketh away.
There must always be a Mark equilibrium.
Every
That's
time
the
Halley's
true
Comet
singularity.
passes, all marks die on the planet Earth. And all marks are also born on planet Earth.
An equal number of Marks are born and die every time the Halley Comet
That's
passes.
awesome. So obviously it was all a hoax. The guys who were doing that were hucksters, and they were trying to take people's money, which unfortunately worked. But the next time that Halley's Comet came through in 1986, didn't work so well. I don't think any anti-comet pills were sold then.
Now, what I would do these days if it came time to sell some sort of fraudulent pill, I would sell pills that let you look straight at the eclipse.
You
Because it
would
would
get
be-
sued so fast, like your head would pop
Well, in
off.
today's litigious America, sure.
But like, yeah, in like 1901, you could just jump on the nearest railroad and just like go 10 miles that way, and they're like, he's gone forever.
And you could just be
Yeah,
like,
and
my
then-
name is George O'Malley. And people are like, that seems right.
They're like, well, George, how you doing there?
He has a piece of paper with his name written on it, so it seems legitimate.
He can write. What a statesman.
Leaving completely blind towns in your wake.
I bet he's a
just
doctor.
robbing them blind. just music manning everyone with eclipse pills. Bo, how would you scam the old time people? What would you sell?
Well, I'd give him a gun and just rob him point blank.
You're just like, give me your money.
What is fucking money?
That's probably way more efficient and a lot less time convincing
And
people.
my name is Zach. Give me your money.
They're like, oh my God.
A fair amount less nuance to the situation, though. A lot less style.
What about you, Ash? What would you scam people with in the 1900s?
I wouldn't scam people. I would just figure out how to make deodorant and just start selling deodorant because I'm
Like,
sure that would
please
go
wear
over
this.
like
You can have
gangbusters.
it for free. Please wear it. That was back when they were like, taking baths once every 3 weeks.
And all their
I'm
clothes were
pretty
made
sure
out of
that
wool.
by the time 1910 came around, people were taking baths more often than
I
that.
don't know.
Doesn't sound like it.
They didn't have running water back then. It was just wherever they could
I'm
find
pretty
it.
sure they had running water.
They had anti-comet
1910.
pills, okay? They couldn't worry about running water. There's comets everywhere.
You do got to watch out for those comments.
That's true.
They'll get you. I think I would, actually, I don't know.
I don't know that indoor plumbing was like the norm in the early 1900s.
It really depends on where you were, I think.
I think I would just try to, like, I wouldn't try to scam people. I would just find those old, like, Coca-Cola with cocaine in it, and I would just, like, take it all. I want to try it.
Yeah.
I really want to try that. See how much energy it really did give me.
Halley's Comet's not supposed to come back until 2061.
Whoa.
Wow. When was the last time it was here?
1986.
86.
Oh, this was the
Poor
last.
Marks.
Okay.
Those poor Marks.
On December 9th, 2023, Halley's Comet reached the furthest point from the sun.
Oh.
How far is that?
Pretty fucking far.
You think about how far it is, and then think how it's farther than that. It is far.
Wow, that's so far.
It's far as fuck.
Pretty far.
Did you know that you could fit the entirety, all the planets of the solar system in between the Earth and the asteroid belt that's between Mars and the one after Mars, Jupiter?
But why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? How much does it cost to do that? Are you trying to scam me right now?
It's just an interesting fact about the scale of outer space.
So we're going to move the planets here. All I need is $20. Well, speaking of moving things and moving things in new locations, I got another story for you.
Oh, it's about as far away as Pluto is to us. That's how far Halley's Comet is.
Holy fuck,
Wow.
that thing is moving.
I don't
It's
know what the
moving.
distance AU is.
AU is astronomical units.
It's 35 astronomical units or 5.2 billion kilometers away.
That's astronomically far.
It's going about 2,000 miles an hour.
An astronomical unit is a unit of length, roughly the distance from the Earth to the Sun.
That's far.
That's pretty far.
Approximately
Can't make that in a
equal
road trip.
to 150 billion meters or 8.3 light minutes.
Well, when you put it like that, it seems like it's close.
I mean, light's pretty fucking fast.
I don't know.
I think I can outrun light.
Bo, tell us how you beat light, just as you beat the monkeys
Well, you see,
and the dinosaurs.
I'm actually a rocket.
Pew, pew, pew. Well, speaking of rockets, doesn't have to do anything with the rockets. Have you heard of New Atlantis before?
No.
What does it have to do with old Atlantis?
It's newer.
That's a good point.
I'm going to take that as a no from everybody.
Yeah, it's near Cleveland, right?
No.
Oh.
It's something about
I must be thinking of Middle Atlantis.
About a utopia, and it's, I don't know. Sounds vaguely familiar.
This actually has to do with the Hemingways.
There's more than one Hemingway?
There's more than one Hemingway. And let me tell you about the second Hemingway. I think I like it better.
Okay.
Because there's, everyone knows Ernest Hemingway. Your English high school teachers force you upon him and, whatever. It's fine.
Actually, I
However-
don't think I ever read Hemingway in high school.
It's fine. You didn't miss much, I think. I don't know. But few people are aware his little brother, Lester.
Lester Hemingway? You're
Lester
fucking with me.
Hemingway.
I don't
Nope.
believe you for a
This is a
second.
real person who really exists. Lester Hemingway. He was a bit of an odd fellow, from what I read, and that said that it would be putting it lightly because he did something weird in his life.
Oh, what? Tell me about it, stud.
It has to do with New Atlantis, but I'll give you a little background first, though. Ernest Hemingway was 16 years old when Lester was born in 1915.
So he's an oopsie kid.
He was an oopsie daisy. The younger Hemingway looked up to his brother almost as a father figure and developed many of the same interests.
Shout out for all those Oopsie Daisy kids out there.
Yeah, that's us. Our mom told us that last time we were all together.
I mean, not you. You guys were planned.
No, Mom, remember our sister Alex was rusing you and being like, haha, you're an accident. And she's pointing at you, Ash. And Mom laughed out loud and pointed at all three of us and went, accident, accident, accident.
It's a really stylish way to do it.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation.
Next time I see you, I'm just going to point at you and go, accident!
Accident. Hey, what's up, accident? So, but like Ernest, Lester was an avid outdoorsman with a gift for writing, publishing numerous articles on fishing and several books, including semi-autobiographical The Sound of the Trumpet in 1953 and in 1962.
Oh, it's about Bo, because it's about doing big old beefers.
Oh.
The classiest instrument, the ass trumpet.
What would a book about beefers be about? Like, it's just like P-F-F-F-F-F-F-T?
No, I think it's more like a journal, like a diary, and it's like, today I ate this, and then
Dude,
it was
okay.
like this long, and it was this loud, and it's had the smell had the
A
notes.
fart diary.
I'm not kidding you.
It's a scratch
iOS 17 added a journal app, and I literally have been keeping a fart journal ever since that they added it. I'm not kidding.
Are you like adding can you like attach recordings?
You might be able to, but it's all just been text of, I remember one day I wrote sad farts today, tummy hurts. And that's all I wrote.
Can you send me a screenshot of this and I'll post it on the Instagram to advertise this episode.
I'll definitely do that.
You can learn how to craft and then make, you know how people make temperature blankets? Where it's like you do a row for
yeah.
like the temperatures. Some people do like poop blankets, or you could do a fart blanket where you make you make a graph and then you can track your farts, and then at the end you have a blanket to trap all the farts under.
The old Dutch oven.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I don't know why ovens in Holland all smell like farts, but apparently they do. Anyway, Sound of the Trumpet in 1953 was one of his books. And in 1962, the biography of his famous sibling, quote, my brother, Ernest Hemingway. And that one actually earned Lester Hemingway a good deal of money, which he spent. This is a quote from the thing I'm reading from.
On cocaine.
Which he spent the way many of us probably would, given the chance, starting his own country. So, Bo, how would you start your own country?
Well, I'd invite all the Bows because it's gonna be called Bow Island. Only Bows allowed.
Okay. Where would you get the land? Would you buy it from a nation, or would you take it over? Like what?
I'd reclaim Hawaii and call it. There's Bowie on a bolo.
It's excuse me, sir. It's Bavai.
Hawaii.
Instead of Howleys, it's Bowleys.
You got fucking Bally on there. Ugh. Fucking tourists.
Or you could go to
Tourists.
Germany and call it Bavaria.
Oh, I like that better. Do that, Bo. Do that.
Okay, here I go.
What about you, Zach? How would you start your own country with the money you gained writing about your brother Ernest?
I'd probably buy some sort of freestanding structure in the ocean. I'd probably maybe go the Sealand route and purchase a decommissioned drilling rig in the ocean.
I like that.
And call it Zacktown.
All right, that might work actually.
Ash is allowed there, but nobody else.
Yeah.
Oh.
Suck it.
What about the guy who played RoboCop?
Oh, Peter Weller. Oh yeah, he's welcome. He can give lectures on classical art because that's what he has a
To
doctorate
you.
in. Yeah.
And me.
A giant amphitheater, and Ash and Zach are just sitting in the back, like he can't even see them.
That's amazing.
Wow.
No one's there to
it's
run
not
the lights or
classical
the
art.
stage or anything. He has to turn them on himself before he goes on.
His doctorate's in Italian Renaissance art history, so he can give me lectures on
that's pretty
Italian
interesting.
Renaissance art history. Yeah.
Ash, how would you start your own
Tell
country?
me about Titian. I'm taking back over Antarctica. It's mine now.
Fucking A. Suck it, Shackleton.
I think that isn't there like an international agreement that nobody's
Not
allowed
anymore.
to own any part of
It's
Antarctica?
mine.
No, it's
The whole
Ashartica.
What are they gonna do? Make you leave?
Yeah, they're like, get
They
out
won't
of
go
here,
there.
but they can't get there.
It's
It's
too
too cold. Yeah, and they're like, I would tell Ash to leave, but it's just I'm so cold. Can't do it.
Just send someone else to do it. No, they said no, it's too cold. They don't have enough coats.
It's too cold. No.
Huh.
Ever since Shackleton's boat got stuck there, nobody wants to go.
Yeah.
Call back previous episode. Please listen.
Oh, also, I don't think that that's true. I think people are in there all the time.
No, there's not. Not at all.
Shut up. Just Ash. It's just Ash. Well, let me tell you something about Mr. Lester Hemingway. Again, very real person. It's very surprising to hear that this is a real person. Citing the Guano Acts of 1856, which granted any U.S. citizen the right to claim and mine any island with a deposit of valuable guano, a.k.a. bird or bat poop.
You can't. Okay.
Okay.
It's not any bird poop, right? Didn't we? Haven't we talked about this before?
We did talk about this.
It has to
yeah.
be
Isn't it
seabird.
seabird poop or bat
It's
poop?
seabird poop or bat poop, yes. So
Yeah.
any right to claim or mine any island with a deposit of valuable guano.
You can't just do that.
It's in the Guano Islands Act of 1856.
You can't.
Is that still allowed? Like, can we
Probably
still
not.
do that
I
today?
guarantee you it's not. Probably
Be cool
because
if
of
you
what
could,
Mr. Lester Hemingway did here. So it says you can do that so long as it was not already claimed by another recognized government.
Okay.
Hemingway established his own micronation on July 4th, 1964.
Oh, he even stole the idea of having your Independence Day be July 4th.
Oh, yeah. Even that application of the law was dubious at best, however, because his quote island was actually an 8 by 30-foot bamboo raft off the coast of Jamaica.
Oh,
It was 8 miles from the shore.
That's not.
that's just a boat.
It's not a country.
Hold on. 8 miles from the shore. Hemingway secured his raft to an old car engine, dropped it in shallow water, roped it to that thing before he dropped it in, and declared half of the raft belonging to the United States and the other half to the new micronation of New Atlantis.
No. 4 feet does not a country make.
Yeah, so this all sounds like a joke. Guarantee you 100%. It's not. Hemingway took the development of his new country seriously. He wrote a constitution, sort of. It was just the United States Constitution replaced with New Atlantis
Jesus
every time.
Christ.
It said United States. He just wrote New
Control F,
Atlantis.
New
This guy's a meme lord, and I'm into it. Okay, again, real person. He just has like a copy of the Constitution. He just scratches every time it says United States. He just scratches it out. Just writes New Atlantis. Oh my God. His wife designed a flag, and it's actually pretty cool. I'll send it to you guys later. You can post that on the Instagram too as a little teaser. And he instituted a national currency consisting of carob beans and shark teeth that he called scruples.
No.
I love it.
He also had several permanent. I can't get through this. This guy's
I call
amazing.
my currency Bobucks.
Bobucks, love it. I'm sure they would have accepted Bobucks at New Atlantis. They also had several permanent residents, including public relations specialist Edward K. Moss. I don't know who that is. His assistant and Hemingway's wife and 2 young daughters moved in. An election was held, and Hemingway was voted the first president of New Atlantis.
How big did you say that? How big? You said it was 8 by 13 raft?
8 foot by 30 foot raft, and it was only half of that because the other half was owned by the United States, according to him.
So they all 6 people just lived on a raft together.
8 miles off the coast of Jamaica, yes.
Where did they poop?
Probably in the water.
In the ocean, just pooping off the side into the ocean. This is the best country in the world.
You could just make a stool with a hole in the bottom that goes down.
That's true.
To the water.
Did they ever enter the Olympics?
Sadly, no.
Oh.
Hemingway quickly ran out of money and failed to persuade others to invest in his micronation.
No.
Yeah, it was really sad. They couldn't expand the raft. They couldn't find any more bamboo. And in 1966, just 2 years after its founding, 2 years. You know what? That's longer than I would have thought.
On a raft for 2 years?
2 years after its founding, New Atlantis broke free of its tether during a storm and drifted out to sea. It was
you're
lost
telling
forever.
me that the rope attached to the car battery didn't withstand the power of the ocean?
It didn't.
Excuse me.
Very
It was
surprising.
an engine.
I don't think the engine was the problem.
A car engine. Oh, my bad.
Fortunately, no one was injured, and many artifacts of New Atlantis, such as postage stamps and a flag, have been preserved to immortalize Lester Hemingway's questionable ambition. You meme lord, I'm
Fucking
into
hell,
it.
Lester. Jesus Christ.
I'm fully down.
I can't believe this is a real story.
This is the kind of content that I live for. Thank you for sharing this insane man with me. Very pleased.
So, you know what? Next time you're near the ocean, pour one out for our dear president of New Atlantis, Mr. Lester Hemingway.
And next time you're 8 miles off the coast of Jamaica,
take a look. You might find the bamboo raft somewhere out there, and then you could claim it as your own because of the Guano Act of 18 whatever. So, what are our thoughts on New Atlantis? Would you have moved there?
sounds like a real shit place to live.
I would have moved there.
I'm about to make Bow Island a reality. If I can follow
So according to this, if this law is still intact, which it might be, like there's still laws in the United States.
There's no more unclaimed land.
There's definitely not unclaimed land, but if you make it yourself, that's something.
Well, see, then what you need to do then is to find a volcano under the surface of the ocean, and somehow induce an eruption.
Yeah.
Rouse an eruption, induce an eruption,
make it do a big old volcano beefer under the water.
Yeah, and then you can settle on the resulting volcanic island.
I like the way you think. I like the way you think.
I'm into it. I think I would have moved there if he would have expanded just a little bit.
I think that I would need to be able to bring a Game Boy, and then I would be good.
Can't charge it.
There's solar charging maybe if it was in the future.
Well, I'd bring a Game Boy Color and just a shitload of AA's.
30 pounds of AA batteries. Aren't there a lot of like typhoons or something in Jamaica? Tropical storms? I feel like they get tropical storms. And I don't think that nation would have lasted very long. But the flag of New Atlantis, though, honestly, it's pretty dope. I'll send it to you guys.
It looks like the planchette for a Ouija board.
I was going to say, it looks like a Ouija board thing.
It does. So for those listening, it's a blue background with an upside down triangle that is goldish, and there's a circle in the middle that is the
Just
same
like
color
the
as the
planchette for
background.
a Ouija board.
It looks like an upside down Ouija board pointer. I'd fly that. I'd fly that outside of my house. I actually might do that. Maybe one day I'll just, but as a show of respect for Lester Hemingway. There's Ernest, the earnest man. He's so smart and earnest, honest. And there's Lester. essentially the Cletus of the Hemingway world.
Oh, no, but see, Leicester is spelled the English way. So that means that it's actually sophisticated.
Yeah, it is spelled Leicester, which for a while I called him Leicester, and I made sure to look it up how to say it first before I embarrassed myself like he did trying to make a new Bat Poop Island. So yeah, that was the story of New Atlantis.
When you said New Atlantis, I thought you were talking about the literary work by Francis Bacon, but you were not.
No, I'm talking about a real life place that existed for 2 whole years. Long may they reign.
Before the rope connecting it to an anchor detached and it went floating out into oblivion.
Disappeared forever in the Atlantic Ocean. Good night,
And now
sweet
it's probably
prince.
part of that great trash island.
That's in the Pacific. If it made it all the way there, then now the trash island is part of New Atlantis and it has grown significantly.
They would have had to somehow make it around Cape Horn, and I just don't see that possible.
Well, that leads to our last story. This one, I didn't know this was real, just like the last one. Did you? I'm gonna try to phrase this without giving anything away too much. Did you know at one time in history, a drink was the 6th largest military in the world?
A drink?
A drink owned the 6th largest military in the entire world.
I'm having trouble parsing this sentence. It's making my brain hurt. So please continue speaking.
That's the least I could tell you without giving away the whole thing. So 1959.
A good year. Good year.
1959 is a good year.
That's the same year that something
right there.
crazy happened in 1959.
Yeah, you got it.
Alaska joined the U.S. Oh, and that's the year that Buddy Holly died. Okay,
Oh,
continue.
no. That was a great year. Yeah, it all started at the American National Exhibit in Moscow in 1959 when then President Richard Nixon and Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev, is that how you say that?
Yeah, Khrushchev.
Khrushchev became locked in the infamous kitchen debate, an argument about the perks of capitalism versus communism. To cool down the heated discussion, Donald Kendall, the head of Pepsi's international division, told Nixon to offer Khrushchev a taste of the fruits of capitalism's labor, a glass of Pepsi. Let me tell you guys, this Khrushchev guy, he took a sip, motherfucker was hooked. He drank a whole glass, asked for another one, and said, "My, this is refreshing."
His pupils dilated and time itself slowed.
Oh, he had 90 grams of sugar pouring through his body. And then he urged all of his friends that were with him to
You gotta try this stuff.
to try the tasty beverage alongside of him. So Donald Kendall, again, he's the Pepsi representative for the international division. This was his plan somehow, which is kind of crazy. He really wanted Pepsi. He worked at Pepsi. He really wanted Pepsi to appear at the American National Exhibit in Moscow, which, what a world to live in. Like, that was that guy's whole ambition, was to get to Moscow. and do that.
Imagine-
He aimed high.
Imagine a world where Pepsi doesn't exist in Russia.
That's a world I don't want to live in.
So the higher-ups at Pepsi thought it was a fucking waste of time. They literally told him that's a waste of time and a waste of money. Kendall somehow knew Nixon, I guess, or he had ends with Nixon. And he said, quote, he had to get a Pepsi in Khrushchev's hand to preserve his reputation. Like, this guy's hawking Pepsi so fucking hard, he somehow got to the president. Which, again, what world do we live in? We're soda drink manufacturer guys are like, I gotta get this to Moscow. Mr. Nixon, you gotta help me. It sounds like a shitty B movie, which I'm totally into it. But Kendall's gamble paid off, using the PR success he used from the exhibit to become the Pepsi CEO in 1963. And with the captain's chair in hand, Kendall had a primary focus on finally bringing that sweet, sugary goodness to the Soviet Union. I guess that was his long-term play, he really wanted to sell it to the Soviet Union.
Well, Pepsi would still be good back then because it was made out of actual sugar.
Despite Khrushchev's immediate love for the American beverage, it took several years and a lot of negotiating until all of Russia could share Pepsi with their comrades in 1972. And getting Pepsi into the country wasn't a smooth transition because the Soviet ruble had no value outside of Russia at that time. Both parties had to resort to a traditional bartering method to reach the deal. In exchange for every bottle of Pepsi sold, Russia would provide the soda giant with an equal amount of Stolenichia vodka to resell in the United States. So the Pepsi vodka exchange.
Stoli classic.
Yeah. When I think about Pepsi, the first thing I think about is vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Shitty
vodka
Stoli
Pepsi.
vodka.
Stoli. Is it still around?
Yeah,
Stoli?
we got it in college.
I don't drink very often. I don't know.
Well, you're better off not drinking Stoli.
Okay.
It's not good.
Okay. I trust you. So Russians enjoyed slurping up the American delicacy of Pepsi, and it reaped a recognition as the first capitalist product to break through the Iron Curtain. That's real.
Good job, Pepsi.
Kind of cool. By the late 1980s, though, Pepsi realized that Russia's soda consumption far outpaced the power of the American vodka consumption. Combined with the lack of sales due to Americans protesting the Soviet-Afghan war, they had a surplus of vodka and a shortage of cold hard cash. With the untransferable currency and now vodka off the table, Russia was scrambling for a new way to satisfy the people of their Pepsi addiction. However, there was one option they landed on.
Tanks.
They used the country's abundance of military vehicles to win the battle of thirst.
Oh, God.
In a bizarre agreement, Russia sold Pepsi 17 submarines, a frigate, a cruiser, and a destroyer in 1989 to keep the soda flowing.
So I just said
the
tank
Soviet
randomly, and I was right.
With all this firepower, Pepsi indirectly became the 6th largest naval fleet in the world.
I love it.
This seems like it shouldn't be allowed. There should be some sort of this should not be allowed by the Geneva Convention.
I'm sorry. You could make an island of bat poop and bird poop and make it a fucking,
You also shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Bunch of haters.
Yeah. At a certain time in life, Pepsi had the 6th largest military in the entire world. Fucking bananas that is a statement that came out of my mouth.
Wow.
The reign didn't last very long, though. Rather than using it for evil, they decided to sell it for scrap metal to get money from it.
These shitty submarines suck.
Oh, God.
They're like, hey, man, we don't want to use these things. We're just gonna hawk them. And Kendall, the Pepsi guy, was aware of the irony of Russia handing the U.S. corporation a military fleet, telling a national security advisor, Brent Scrowcroft, that, quote, he was disarming the Soviet Union faster than you are.
Listen, all you gotta do is sell them Pepsi. They
Just
fucking
gotta give
love
them
it.
Pepsi, man. They fucking love the sugar.
If they're giving us submarines for Pepsi, imagine what they'll do for McDonald's.
The red square is going to be red for McDonald's. A year later, Kendall arranged the, quote, deal of the century, where USSR would build Pepsi 10 oil tankers to pay for $3 billion worth of Pepsi, which is, they must love their Pepsi over there. Unfortunately for Pepsi, though, the fall of the Soviet Union in 91 made it a lot harder for the capitalist soda giant to conduct business in Russia, and Kendall struggled to make the new business deals with the new republics in town.
It's hard to be Pepsi. It's hard to be Pepsi. It's hard to be Pepsi in Russia.
Yo. So, Pepsi's glory days in Russia have since fizzled out, and I believe that Coca-Cola has now taken over due to the Moscow Olympics in 1980. I guess that they did something then. I didn't read too much into that. But at one time, Pepsi was king and could have been even more king with their giant fucking military.
Now, this makes a lot more sense than what I originally pictured in my head when you said that a drink was the 6th largest navy in the world. Because what I had imagined in my head was one of those scenarios where somebody like some billionaire leaves their fortune to their cat. And then you've got like a cat who's got like $1 billion. And you're like, why does this cat got money? Cats don't know how to do anything with money. But instead, I thought it was some sort of situation where somebody allowed some legal loophole allowed like a fucking cup of clamato juice to inherit some sort of naval assemblage.
Who's out here drinking clamato juice? Is it clamato or clamato?
It's clamato.
Is it clamato?
It's
Clamato.
It's clamato, yeah.
I've never tasted it. It sounds disgusting to me. I just, I assume that if it was clam and tomato juice together, wouldn't it be clamato?
You shut your fucking mouth.
Wait, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let's hold on.
Ash, do the thing. Ash, do the thing.
Do the thing.
Clamado.
Hey,
Clamato.
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 Well, fuck me, I guess.
I'm Clamato in here. So yeah, that's my dump for you guys. I got 4 fun short stories about Cthulhu, the wrestling queen, to the anti-comet pills that were hawked by hucksters, to I forgot the third story. New Atlantis by Lester Hemingway himself, creating a new island, and finally Pepsi becoming the 6th largest military power in the entire world.
What Lester needs to do is to get in touch with Pepsi so that he could get all of the cans and then pile those up and get a little more than 4 feet.
Or he could just take some of their submarines and like hawk them together.
That's true.
Like if they joined forces, they would be unstoppable and probably be maybe the 3rd or 4th most powerful military in the world.
You ever driven a tank on the ocean?
Well, isn't like a single American, a single U.S. Aircraft carrier is like the 5th largest air force in the world?
Probably.
Because of how many planes you can fit on an aircraft carrier?
Possibly. But I don't know. 17 submarines, a frigate, a cruiser, and a destroyer. That's a lot. Lester could have done a lot with that. And he wouldn't have had to like tie it down with like engines and stuff. They would have had anchors.
He probably could have took over a better island.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those are my 4 short stories. It's your Andrew micro mini dump, upper decker style. I hope you enjoyed it.
Wow. Thank you for those micro mini dumps. I love hearing varied stories about completely unrelated topics. Unironically, one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Let's go with Ash. What was your favorite thing? Either favorite story or favorite part of a story?
Ash, that's you.
Ash is stunned.
We have Ash. Did you die?
Don't edit this out too. Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
What was your favorite part?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
we have time. Don't worry.
The U.S. Navy is the 2nd largest air force in the world, second to the U.S. Air Force.
This is Ash's time to talk.
Oh no, he's bringing another fun fact. Me and Zach are talking. We're having a sidebar.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that she had 10,000 horses and that no one could beat her.
It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
I respect the hell out of that woman.
I certainly could not have beat her. I'm not good at wrestling.
No.
But you're good at taking care of horses.
You would have never won her hand in marriage.
I have taken care of horses before.
But you could maybe engage in some sort of domestic partnership because you take care of her horses.
I'm sure she'd be okay with that. Someone needs to. What about you, Bo? What was your favorite part of the episode?
When I was semi-right about Pepsi, about just the tanks, Russia giving them fucking military fucking things. And I was like, is it a tank? And it's like, you're like, oh, he's got an aircraft carrier, submarine, Navy man. That's my favorite.
Of course, Bo's favorite thing is his own words. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Bo fashion. What about you? What about you, Zach? What's was your
my
favorite
favorite
part?
is the perfect combination of audacity and insanity that is Lester Hemingway.
That dude was fucking insane. But you know what? I respect it. I respect the hell out of him. I respect the hell out of the wrestling queen. I don't respect the hucksters who are selling pills for comets. And I don't know if I like the dealings of Pepsi, but I guess I have to respect the play. So that was my episode. Thank you very much for listening. Zach, wrap it up.
Hey, I bet you're expecting me to do the same voice that I did at the beginning of the episode, but I'm not going to do it because I forgot how to do it. And I'm not going to, fuck. Hey, thanks for listening to Get Dumped On, the Infinite Dump Podcast. You can hear us every week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you get your podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review if you liked this episode. If you didn't like this episode, consider keeping your opinion to yourself, or just leaving us a 5-star review anyway. Get in touch with us on Instagram, Get Dumped On Podcast, or send us an email, getdumpedonpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, this has been a great time. I listened to Andrew tell us some unrelated stories about things that were still pretty good stories. We had some laughs. We learned a little. And that's really what this podcast is all about. So I've been Zach. That's been Bo. Say goodbye, Bo.
Goodbye, Bo.
That's been Ash. I'm pointing into various directions, just random directions. Ash.
Goodbye, Bo.
And that's been Andrew.
Hey, real quick. Remember when Bo said he was going to take over the Instagram, and then Zach had to make a post on the Instagram calling Bo out for not taking over the Instagram? Bye.
Okay, bye.
I'm gonna do it. Don't worry.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
All hail New Atlantis. Long may it
See you
reign.
next week. Does New Atlantis have like a motto or does it have what was the national anthem of New Atlantis?
New Atlantis, we're up in the ocean. New Atlantis, we're covered in bird poop. We are protected by that same bird poop that I mentioned earlier. Bum, bum.
My skin is so burned because we don't have trees and we don't have roofs.
Sunscreen, we forgot it. Okay, bye. Ashton and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's just the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped on an Info Dump Podcast.
Really wish I had a Pepsi.